My reaction, I was just like, this guy that they said could catch balls, now here dropping them. But you know, I never actually saw he got cleared out as to why he dropped the ball. So yeah, we obviously saw the lineup for that particular match, and we saw a bit of a different lineup to what we are used to, namely a change in our goalkeeper. So there had been rumors before the match began that this was going to happen, that we were going to get a different goalkeeper, or Raya was going to have a run in the team, and by God, it happened. We saw Raya starting, and you know, for those that don't know, we have now put out a review podcast of the match. So if you want to hear exclusively our thoughts on the match, you can check that out. It should be in your podcast feed. But in general, as you know, if this was like class and you had to kind of grade this performance, like what did you think of David Raya?
Well, I thought for someone who didn't have a lot to do, he did it really well. Like for someone who, you know, I mean, there was not a noticeable save. I think he had one in the first half, and the rest was just collecting crosses and distributing the ball when it managed to find its way back to him. And he did it with a lot of calm, safety. I felt a different sort of confidence, and I think that's really the key thing I want to highlight, is just how a keeper makes you feel when they're distributing the ball. Like, you're not saying in the back of your head, just hoof it. You're comfortable for them to take their time to look where they want to pass it, because you know there's going to be accuracy and they're going to be able to receive the ball however it comes to them, obviously in like an understandable way. But yeah, I had no qualms. I've obviously got no issues with Ramsdale. I still think he's a good keeper. I still think he's fine as our number one. But Raya's definitely given me some things to think about, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know, we were talking about just how similar these guys are, but then the key differences. And in a game against Everton, you expect a lot of crosses coming in and corners, set pieces in general. And David Raya's stats come out trumps to Ramsdale in terms of coming out, collecting the ball, things like that. There was one point in that Everton game, I think it was a free kick they put in, and David Raya jumped up big, he caught it, but James Travalski that was under him.
Oh, Travalski,
yeah, and he dropped the ball. And my reaction, I was just like, this guy that they said could catch balls, now here dropping them. But you know, I never actually saw he got cleared out. I couldn't believe it. My heart skipped a beat. I was just thinking, bro, everything they said he's good at, now look at. But yeah, he like you said, truth be told, he never really had much going against him, even in the way of crosses and stuff. You know, that was maybe his most action that he saw within the game. Like I mentioned before, one shot from distance from Idrissa Gueye, but he looked comfortable doing it. And more than anything, it was when the ball's at feet. Is often in the last season, 2 seasons, we've seen Ramsdale look his weakest. The ball at feet, having to make a pass into midfield or defense, and might get intercepted, might get misplaced, or you didn't pass it to the person's right foot, or left foot, whatever their foot is, and then they've got pipped, and then before we know it, the ball's in the back of the net. And I looked at Raya, and he was just playing like he was part of a Iniesta, Xavi midfield for the Spain national team. Like, just it's the same passes that Ramsdale makes, but it was just the fluency and the ease. Like, it's easy for him.
It looks natural. You see, when you can see someone who looks like they've learned this, that they've spent time and they've cultivated the ability to pass up from the back. But with him, I don't know if there's many keepers that look more comfortable on the ball than him. Maybe other than Onana, but he can't save, so you know what I mean. But he looks super comfortable on the ball, and like I was saying, it just puts your mind at rest. Even though Ramsdale can pick out a peach of a pass, there's still a part of me, and maybe I'm conflating it with the mistakes he's made overall, but generally speaking, I was just like, I don't mind this feeling in terms of, you know, with the ball at his feet. But it's still very early days. We don't know if this is going to be a run, if Ramsdale's going to come back in, or if Raya's going to get the run. We still haven't seen him make enough saves for us, or see if he makes extraordinary saves, if he's not letting easy stuff in. There's going to be a lot to pick out in terms of him, and just see who wins this duel, because it doesn't feel like it's going to end with both of them at the club and fighting for number one. Someone's going to win by the end of this season, and we'll just kind of see how the chips lay. But for this performance, I had nothing but praise for him. With the little that he did it well.
So let's kind of try to kind of fast forward quickly and just think, what do you think the outcome is going to be come the end of the season? Let's say, let's just say, for argument's sake, they get a fair shot at the games, like 50-50 almost. Whether they split, say we get 10 Champions League games, obviously we hope for more, but he gets to get 10 Champions League games. They play 5 each. Premier League is 38 games, whatever that is, split down the middle, let's say like 15, 16, 17 games each. It's fairly, and then obviously cup games. However, what do you think the play is in terms of who we keep, or who will pipe up and not be happy about that situation in itself?
I think I have a sneaky feeling that Raya is going to win, and only because I just feel like if his statistics ring through, I just don't know if Ramsdale's going to be able to keep up with that consistency, because we've had him for this is now his third season, and I've gone through all the stats in terms of even his shot stopping. It's like 12th in the league. Like, in all of his areas, he's very mid-table. He's not very exemplary at anything, where Raya is. And even when it comes to kicking, again, I know we spoke in one of our transfer episodes about kicking it is different from kicking to Jesus and Nketiah than kicking to Ivan Toney, but he's doing that well. And again, the little we saw today, it looks like, the ability is there, it's real. You know what I mean? It's not like, it's just because there was a big 6'2", 6'3" guy up top. So I just feel in terms of ability, he may have the edge, but the one point where I'm still maybe not counting Ramsdale out is his character's huge, and I feel like that's been his whole career, which is people have counted me out. I've been at clubs where they've been relegated before. He's had to deal with pressure, with criticism, and he's always risen above it, and this might be another time where he does it again. So I'm not counting him out. Inside I feel like Raya's going to win, but if Ramsdale did, I'm not angry at either. I'm still kind of assessing Raya to see if he's got the full package, but Ramsdale has had a pretty unfortunate year of mistakes and maybe letting some shots in which he couldn't, so he's kind of starting on the back foot. But the one thing I am really happy about is I know that we're not taking any L's, whoever leaves or doesn't, because if Ramsdale wins, fine, he's already on the big contract. Raya was only a 3 million loan. It's fine. We then go and get some granddad's goalkeeper to just fill in. If Raya wins and Ramsdale doesn't want to say, we've got him on the extra 4-5 year contract. Someone will come in for him, and we're getting big bucks. We could easily double what we bought him for. Easy. So we're protected on all sides. It's just we're in that stage now where we're talking about players that we like and players that we want to stay and take Arsenal to the mountaintop, but we're definitely going to lose some along the way, and Ramsdale might be one of the casualties. But where do you sit on the whole debate? Do you think he's going to last?
Who, Raya?
Ramsdale.
I feel like, okay, now obviously stats are stats, so if stats say that he's not really that great, other than us thinking he is, then that's evidence, isn't it? That's hardcore evidence. I do think there has been maybe not an agenda against Ramsdale, but an agenda to get Raya into the club for a very long time now. We know obviously the goalkeeping coach has good ties with David Raya, and even with a number one in Ramsdale, we're here, but the goalkeeping coach is still telling Arteta, "Come look at my friend."
He's a snake. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
you're going to work every day, and you're...
I think for Ramsdale that's a tough position to be in. Like it's like nothing you're doing is enough to still improve this guy that's now going to report back to the gaffer, and the gaffer's here showing him, oh, okay, what about this guy Raya? So I feel like it's a very difficult position for Ramsdale to be in. I think that he's definitely got it in him for the fight to try and keep his place and stuff like that. But it's one of them ones where the decision might already be made. And it's just a case of this is just managing the situation as best as possible. So that, it can be seen that, everyone had a fair crack, even though they know what they're going to do. But like you said, there is no losers in the situation. I'm trying to be logical and not emotional about it. Like Ramsdale, I like him, but I want my team to be better at the same time. So if it means that Raya is the answer, then sorry Ramsdale, Raya is the answer. But if Ramsdale is the one that comes out and wins the battle, then it's a case of, well, he deserves it. He might have probably even gone up a level for him to beat Raya. So yeah, and if we end up selling him, there's going to be good money for him. So like you said, it's win-win almost. The only case we lose is if we keep kind of chopping and changing keepers, and it disrupts the defense and disrupts the back four and all of that kind of stuff. Other than that, this situation shouldn't really be a lose situation for Arsenal at all.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you with that. I just kind of hope that, I mean, at the end of the day, Raya wouldn't be here if Ramsdale was performing. Like, we just have to call a spade a spade. You're not going to bring in someone. You don't see people trying to replace Saka. You know what I mean? Like, so he kind of has to own that, and I'm sure he has, and then just try and kick on. And like you said, if Ramsdale wins, it's because he's gone up a level. And if that's the case, then it's better for us. If Raya came in and his job was to play some games and take Ramsdale to the next level, then so be it. But I think definitely it's now about fine margins, about making sure the team is perfected in all areas, and clearly goalkeeper is one of those areas.